हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम यू ऑल टू एआई की पाठशाला। एआई की पाठशाला आपकी अपनी पाठशाला है एंड यू कैन कम हियर एंड whatever session I am conducting, it's absolutely free of cost. You can join me on my live session at 10 p.m. IST. You can go to the description section of the video and join my Telegram group link from there. There I have posted a Telegram group link. You can join my group. In the group, every day I post the link of my live session. So right now we are conducting the Python, and today we are going to discuss about the logging. So let me share you my screen first, and thereafter we will start. So is my screen visible to you, sir? Is my screen visible? Can I get a quick yes or no? You can also talk to me, Mr. Mishra,
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
Mr. Ruchi ma'am, Mrs. Ruchi ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So see, have you studied Python before, Mr. Umesh?
No, sir.
So this is a first session, first class for you.
Yes, sir.
So see, because we have already covered a lot in Python, and we are actually in the advanced section of the Python. So this session might be difficult for you to understand, but that's fine. You can wait, and we can talk at the end of this session, so that I will guide you how to start from the very beginning and keep and come to the level where we are right now standing. So
Okay, sir.
I will talk with you personally one to one after this session. So wait for that. So today the agenda is to start the logging, and today is, I suppose, 39th session. Now, first and foremost thing that I would like to ask you, all of you, that what do you mean by log? When in a general language, not in terms of any technical language or anything, just tell me, Mr. Misra sir, you should tell me, if someone tell you, give me a log or something talking about the log, what comes in your mind when someone just talk about the log? Says, what impression comes in your mind when if someone will just talk about the log? Please tell me, any one of you, if you are able to answer. Umesh, you can instead of typing in the chat box, you can communicate with me on audio channel.
To enter.
Okay, fine. To enter, log means to enter. Fine, because you are logging. Correct. This is also correct.
Is it something related to logarithms?
No, this is not related to logarithm. Log means okay. This is also true, because if someone will ask you, sometimes it happens that we use log tables to calculate log, but we are not talking about that. But it's fine. So this is second thing. One more thing is that if someone will tell you log, the meaning of log is also wood. A piece of wood and something is called a log. Is it fine? So see, what log actually mean is that you keep the track of something in some file or something like that. You keep every details of what is going on. If you keep the details, something, maybe you can keep a log of, suppose you are taking a milk from some shop. So every day when you come out of the shop, you just enter it in your diary, just today date, and today I have taken 2 liters of milk. Then today is this date, I have taken 2 liters of milk. So whatever information that you are actually collecting and keeping somewhere, that is actually a log. Whatever you do, that is a login. That was not a log, that is a logging that Umesh was talking to enter into something. So this is just a layman definition of the log. Let's understand in terms of the programming language what it exactly conveys. So there is something called logger, Logger, Logger in Python, logger in Python. So what is the task of the logger? It's a tool that helps you to keep track of what is happening in your program. So what it is doing, it helps you to keep track of what is happening in your program. This is the main task of the log. It helps to keep track of what is happening in your program. It is just like a diary in a code. So see, whatever information you need to keep in your diary, what you do, you open your diary and write that information for you, and it will remain there. Whenever you need it, you just take your diary and cross check it, and you get that information. So it is like a diary in your code. You can also write log is like a diary in a code. Diary in a code. So what it means? You can use log to write some important events, some errors, and other information during the program execution. So fourth point I am writing, you can use it to write down events, errors, and other information, during program execution. Program execution means whenever your program run. So if you want to keep the track of events, or if the program is giving you any error, or you want to take certain information, some specific information, so log is a kind of thing where you can save all those things, where you can save all those informations with the help of logger in your program. One very important thing, one very important task of this logger is logger helps us in debugging. What is debugging? Means debugging and understanding how your code is running. So this debugging means, what debugging means, I have not yet discussed about this debugging. Our next session is on debugging only, so I will discuss it in very details, but let me clear you what is debugging here. So see, whenever you are writing some program, so many times you get some error. Sometimes the error may be syntax error, sometimes the error may be some arithmetic error, sometimes the error may be a module not found error, or there are numerous kind of errors, or sometimes the error is kind of logical error, that you have logically given something wrong information, and that's why you have written some wrong programming. Logically the program is wrong, and that's why you are getting an error. So to find where the error is and to rectify it is called debugging. Errors means there is a bug in your code. Error means there is a bug, or there is a fault, or there is some problem in your code. So to find that problem and to rectify it is called debugging. Do you understand what debugging is? To find where the problem is, why the code is not running, where the exact problem lies, to understand it and to correct it is called debugging. Debugging is this. Debugging means debug. Where there is a bug in your code, where there is a problem in your code, where there is a fault in your code, you have to rectify it, correct it, is called debugging. The simple meaning. So what Logger used to do, it helps us in debugging. It helps us in finding where the exact fault is there in the code, where the exact problem is there in the code, and understanding how your code is exactly running, how the control is flowing, how my code is running. This helps us in doing this. So these are the main tasks of Logger in our program. So you can also understand the Logger in now. So logging basically means, so now comes logging basically means, let me clear it more, is a means of tracking, tracking events that happens when some software runs, Fine. Now let's understand how this all things work. What are the things that we use to create a logger and log our events, what is happening during the program. So first thing is that I'm explaining you here step by step first in a theoretical manner. Then what we will do, then I will run a program and we will understand this with the help of the program. The first thing is that you have to create a logger. What you have to do? Create a logger. What it means? Creating a logger means you are creating a blank diary. Let's say you have a diary and there is nothing written in it. It's completely empty and nothing is written. So you are creating a logger. Create a logger means you are creating a logger for your program, means it's like getting a blank diary for your program where you want to write the events or occurrences or whatever is occurring in your program. So there is one module called logging. So logging is a module that is built inside of Python. We already have discussed about the modules. So logging is a module which has lot of functionalities present inside it, or lot of methods present inside a logger module. With the help of logger module, what we will do, we will first we will import this module called logger. This is my first task. I will import this module called logger. Thereafter, my second task is I will create an object of this class. This is a logger class actually. See, this thing I have not yet discussed, and even I don't want to discuss it right now, because in the coming session, this is a part of object-oriented programming, which we are going to study in very depth. So right now, just for your information, I am telling you, just remembered it, that this is some class, and whatever thing that we are going to use belongs to this class. Exactly like what we have discussed in the previous session. I have told you there is a one class called exceptional class, and all other errors that are coming from the we are using in the program that are coming are part of that exception class. So exception is the base class, and from there all other classes that we are using in our last session were deriving. Just like this logger is a class, and whatever thing that we are going to do is present inside this class. For the timing, just understand this. We will discuss it in very thoroughly later. So where there is a concept of class, this is one class, and there are a lot of methods present inside this class, which will help us during the logging of the events in our program. So we have to create an object of this class. We have to create the logger, import logger, not import logging. This is right thing, import logging. This is a class. Logging is a class, not logger. Thereafter, what we have to do, we have to create, wherever there is a class, we have to create an object of the class. So just create the object of the class. What is the object? Let's write object as logger, and I'm creating a object of the class, and this is a way to create an object. For the time being, just remember this. We are going to discuss it later, because sometimes this happens that some concepts come earlier, but its related concepts comes later. So it is very difficult for you guys to understand it, to correlate it, until unless we will understand related concept in it. So whenever we will understand the related concept about the classes, objects, and instances, lot of things is there, then these concepts will become clear. For the timing, just remember it. This is the way of doing the thing. So I am creating this logger object from this logging class, and for that you have to write logging dot get logger, logger, L-O-G-G-E-R, logger. And after that, you have to write some where, what is your logger? Where, so let's write my underscore program. This is, let's write my underscore program. This is my file where I actually want to create this logger object. Fine. Thereafter, this is called, here I am creating a logger, create a logger for the program. So here I have created a logger for my program. How I have created a logger? By I have first imported my logging class. Thereafter, I have created an object of this logging class by writing this thing. And in this second step, what I have to do, this is the first step. And now in the second step, we have to do set the logging level. Set the logging level. L-O-G-G-I-N-G, logging level. What this logging level is? Logging level is that whatever information that you want to log, you have to decide what kind of information from the program you want to log. So that is called setting the logging level. Let me write it. Information that you want to log. That is called logging level. So there are different kinds of logging level, but in basically there are 5 very important and most often used kind of logging. That is called, let me write it here. First is called debug. Second is called info, I-N-F-O, info. Third is called warning, A-R-N-I-N-G, warning. Fourth is called error. and fifth is called critical. These are the five different kind of logging level that most often we use in our for logging the details. So this is called setting the logging level. That is the information that you want to log. These five different logging level store different information into the log file. So this store a different kind of information. This store a different kind of information info. Warning store a different kind of information. Error store a different kind of information, and critical store a different kind of information. We will see it in details during the program execution. So this was my second step. This was my step one. Create a logger. This is my step two. Set the logging level. And now the third step is write log entries. Fine. Write log entries. So what is this log entry? Log entries is that as your program runs, you write entries in your diary. Let's say whatever thing you want to write inside the diary, you have to write it inside it. Then and only it will get stored in your diary. In the same way, when your program runs, you write entries in your log using the logger. These entries can be about what your code is doing or any issue it encounters, or it may be a general information, anything. So with the help of this, how you can write the entries? First, you have to write this object, what you have created from this logging class. So you have to first write this LOGGER logger. Then you have to put dot. Then you have to write debug. Let's say you want to write the information about debug. So you have to write debug, DEBUG. What I have written here, debug. So if you want to write the information about debugging, so you have to write debug here, and thereafter whatever message, let's say you want to write it, give it to the log file. So you have to give that message to you. Let me give this message. This is debug message. Second thing of logging entries is, let's write logger dot info, and let me write, this is an info message. This is an info message. Third is warning. So same logger dot warning, and then you have to write the message. Let's write as this is a warning message. And fourth is error, logger dot error, and you have to write this thing. This is an error message. This is an error message. This is an error message. And finally, let's write logger dot critical. You guys have to type along with me. You don't have to sit idle. You also keep on typing along with me. That's why I'm typing along with you. Otherwise, I will simply copy and paste all the code and show it to you. because I want you to do a coding along with me, live coding along with me. So this is the reason I am typing every line of code along with you, so that you can also type along with me and don't sit idle. Fine. So this is a logger.critical. So let me write this message. This is a critical message. So this is about writing the log entries. We can write the log entries either by logger.debug, logger.info, logger.warning, and logger.error. By using this logging level means information that you want to log. If you want to log the information related to the debug, you can use this logger.debug. If you want to log the information related to info, you have to write logger.info. Same thing is that if you want to log the information related to any warning, you have to write this logger.warning. Same is for error and critical. So this is my third step. Now, the fourth step is step 4. Step 4 is that you have to configure where your log entries go. So you want to create a logger, you want to create a diary, everything is fine. But as your program runs and you configure all those things, you have to configure where your log entries go. So whatever information that you want to log, you have to store it somewhere. Either you want to show it to a console, or the, let's say, your on your console, or let's say in your command prompt, or let's say in your terminal, or you want to store that in some file or somewhere else, If you want to store it, then you have to create. So let me first tell you, because there is a lot of ways of saving the log file in different things. So I will explain that thing in just in some time. But right now, I am focusing on, let's create one log file. What I want to create one file, and I am giving it some name. And whatever, let's say, program I will be running, I want to save the information that I want to log into that file. So for doing it, what I have to do, I have to write this thing, logging dot basic, 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 and then you have to write config, 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 and you have to write this bracket, and inside this bracket you have to write the file name, file underscore name. You have to give this file name, and you have to give this file name and write the name of the file where you want to save all your log information. So let me give it some name, my underscore log. I am giving it a name, .log, LOG. .log is the file extension for the log file. Fine. So for logging the information, first thing you have to write this logging .basic config, and inside this square bracket, you have to write this file name and name of the file, whatever file you want to name it. This is the first thing. Thereafter, the second thing is that you have to write your level, what we have discussed here, level. set the logging level. So first thing that you have to give is your file name. We have discussed this. This is my file name. I have given a file name, and let's say this is my file name. Thereafter, you have to give the level. So let's write level is equal to logging dot debug. Let's say you want to capture the information related to the debugging. So you have taken your logging, you have taken your level as logging dot debug. Fine. Now, what will happen? This will save information related to the debugging in your mylog.log file. Here, the file that I have created, my_log.log, it will save information related to the debugging inside this file. Is this thing clear? Now, I want to, last thing is that I want to read and analyze all those things. So let's say after that, what I want to read and analyze your log files. So let's say you have run one program, thereafter, and in that you want to capture this information. So it will get captured inside your log file, let's say my_log.log. This is the file. So you have to open this file. When you will open this file, you will see all that information that you want to capture will get stored inside this file. This is how this all things work. So let's understand, before understanding these things, let me give you something more, tell you something more, so that it is easy for you to so let me give you these things. Let me see. Just now what I have discussed, debug, info, warning, error, and critical. This is, see, debug has the lowest level. That means I will discuss these things, lowest level and all this. First, understand what this debug is about. Debug messages are typically used for details and often verbose debugging information. Info messages are used to provide general information about the program's executions. Warning messages indicate potential uses that are not critical but should be brought to your attention. These are the 5 things. I have given a detailed description of this. You can read it, but I'm going to use those things in our program. Now let's come to the main thing, that is executing these things step by step, what I have discussed. So we have initially discussed, this is the first thing that I will discuss. We have to do, I have to import this logger, that is logging class or module. So just run this program. So this import.logging, this logging get imported in our program right now. Now, next thing is that I have to create a logger. So this thing, I have to create a logger. So let's create a logger here. Let's create a logger and write this my_program1. Let's, because maybe my_program has already been created. So I'm changing this name, my_program1. And now let's create this logger. So run
Can
this.
you
What happened?
Like, can you go slightly up? I mean, previous one.
You do not need to write this because I will give you
Okay.
entire sheet.
Okay.
It's a waste of time. So you can see this. I will upload this in the GitHub. So you will see all these things. Just whatever program that I am going to do, just keep writing this thing. You should write this thing and import logging, and then run this program. Then create an object of this logging that I have already explained you here. Creating an object of this class, and write this thing and run this, and thereafter configure logging. So what you have to configure, how you have to configure the logging. For configuring the logging, you have to write logging dot basic. We have already discussed this before. And config. And thereafter, first thing that you have to write is the file name. File underscore name. File name. Not name, file name, not underscore, file name. So let's write the name of a file. I am writing the name as my underscore app dot log. This is the name of my file. Second thing that I have to specify is called the level that we have already discussed, level. And let's specify debugging, logging dot debug, debug, debug. Third thing that you have to, it is not mandatory, these things are compulsory, but the third thing that I am going to write is not at all mandatory thing, but if you want you can write. I am writing it. So you have to write format, format format. That means in which format, in which style, in which format you want to log whatever you want to log, in which format you want to log it. So you have to give it a format. So this is a format. Let me first write it for you and then I will explain you. You have to write this percentage, then write this parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis, you have to write ASC, time. What it means, this thing will log the time. At what particular time, when your program will run, when you run your program, it will exactly capture the time. Let's say if you have built some software or you are running some thing inside this, you are running some program inside it, and you want to capture at what particular time this particular thing has run or this particular information has been logged into that file. So it will it will mention the time, exact time at which that information get logged into your file. So this it means. Thereafter you have to write this dash, and then you have to write percentage, and you have to write NAME name, and after that you have to put S. Thereafter this will simply give you the name. Thereafter you have to write again percentage, this percentage sign, then this curly braces, this parenthesis, not curly braces, parenthesis, and then you have to write level name, and S, level name dot S. After that, what you have to do, level name, then you have to write this S. Thereafter, whatever message you want to give, you have dash, then you have to put this percentage again, this percentage, this thing, and masses, MESSAGE masses, and then you have to write this S. This is all about. This will capture whenever you will whenever you are logging any information. This is the format of logging the information. This format means, guys, here it's are you Umesh or some... Hello, are you Umesh or someone else? Hello? Who is this Rohan? Can I know? Okay, fine. So see, it's raining here in New Delhi. So fine. See what format means, in which format you want to log your information. So first it will write the time at which the information that is logged. It will mention the time, complete time, date and time. It will mention the complete date and time. Then it will write the name. Then it will mention the level name. And then the message that it would like to log, it will display that, it will log that message here. So this is the format that I wanted to use. So I have to mention this like that. Finally, what I have to do? I have to simply run this code. Let's run this code. Okay. Debug, you have to write debug here as DE, capital D. Fine. Now let's run it. Fine. After that, whatever information you want to log at different log levels, you have to use the logger object to create that message for you. We have already written this here. So let's copy it from here and paste it here. This is just for making you understand. Paste it here. So these are the messages that I want to log. This is the debug, this is the info, this is warning, this is error, and this is critical message that I want to log. So now run this thing. Fine. After running, I also want to log the exception information. I also want to log the exception information that we have already discussed in the last session, exceptional handling. So I will not explain you exceptional handling at all in this session because we have already conducted 4 sessions on that. I will directly use it in our program. Those of you who are not understanding, who are attending this session for the first time, I can understand. These things are going above your head because we have already covered the basics and we are in the advanced Python right now. So you have to start from the first session and then slowly and slowly when you move, when you cover the previous things, these things will be very easy for you. You will understand this in a very easy way when your previous concept will get clear. Fine. So exceptional handling, logging exceptional handling. Let's say I want to write some program logging exception information. So let's say let's write some program. In that program, I want to log the exceptional information in that. So this is the program. We have already discussed this program. Try. Let's say result, RESULT result. If you divide, let's say 10, yes, ULT result. And let's say if you divide 10 by 0, by this 0, so this will throw you an exception. You already know this. To handle this exception error, what you have to do? You have to write except block, EXCEPT except block. And this is a 0 division error. So let's write 0 division error here. And I want to log this. Whatever exception is occurring here, I want to write it. So I have to write this as logger here, as logger dot, because logger is an object of this logging class. So I am writing this logger dot exception, exception, exception. And thereafter, whatever message I want to write inside my log file, I have to write that message here. Let's write here exception occurred while dividing by 0, while dividing by 0, dividing by 0. This is the message that I want to write. And now let's run this program. Let's run this. I have run it. Now see, you have to use the log variables. You can also use the log variables or data in your log messages by using the string formatting kind of thing. So let's write some messages which you want to log it. So let me write it. Name is equal to, let me write the name Umesh. And thereafter, I want to log some message like age is equal to, let's say 25, and logger dot info. This is a general information that I want to log. So for logging a general information, I have to log logger dot info. See here, this info messages are used to provide general information about the program's execution. Fine. So I want to log this information about the name and the age. So let me write it here. User percentage, let's say like %s. We have already discussed this in file formatting, in string formatting. User %s is %, let's say D, %d, years old. And here you have to give it the name, comma, let's say age. And let's run it. Run this thing again. Finally, you have to customize your log handlers. So how to customize a log handlers? How to customize a log handler? First thing is that I need to understand here what is called handler. Customizing a log handler is fine, but first thing I have to understand here is what is log handler. So we will understand this here, log handler, HANDLER. Thereafter, I will customize my log handler here. See, first thing, what log handler, what is the use of the log handler? First understand. Log handler, is responsible for determining where your log messages should be stored or where you want to output your log message. So log handler is basically helps you in determining where you want to store the log information. Right now I have given you only one situation of storing the log details in a file. But in the real production grade code, when you deal with the production grade code, in actual scenario, we do not store the log in any files. We store it in different places. So this log handler is basically is used to manage the flow of log data from your Python program to various destinations. So let me write it for you here. So log handler is, log handlers are used to manage, manage, manage the flow of log data from Python program to various destinations, Python programs to various destinations. Log handlers are used to manage the flow of log data from Python program to various destinations. Fine. Now the question arises, what are the various destinations? The various destinations is can be, what are the various destinations? Various destinations can be, what are the various locations where you want to log your log data. So there are certain things. Let me write it for you. The various locations that I am talking about, these locations can be, one is the console. Console means, let's understand it. Let's a terminal or command prompt. If you want to, or in your cell, if you want to store that, if you want to display that message there, so it will be displayed there. Or if you want to store it some file, what we are doing right now, or if you want to save that log in some network, or these are the places. Or if you want, network means any cloud based system or anything kind of things where if you want to store that information, so this will help you in doing that, this log handlers. So there are certain things inside this log handlers. So the output location, there are few functions of this log handlers. What they do, they used to do log level filtering. Log level filtering. What is this log level filtering? Log level filtering is log level, let me write it capital, log level filtering. This log level filtering is, see, here I have not explained you at that time. In terms of the severity, when you are logging any information, and if you talk about the severity, this debug has a lowest level. That is, severity is lowest, and this critical log, the logging the critical information, its severity is highest level. So that means the severity of this thing is going up. From debug, it is increasing till critical. It becomes maximum, the highest at critical, and it is lowest at debug. So if you understand this in this way, if you understand it in this way, if you understand in this way, this critical thing, so the priority of or criticality of this in logging the information is increasing from debug to critical. So it has a more priority. Info has a more priority than debug. Warning has a more priority than info. Error has a more priority than warning, and critical has the highest priority. So what this log level filtering is doing, it is setting, you can configure a handler to capture message at or above a certain level. So you can set the priority by using this log level filtering. Second thing is that message formatting is there. What is this message formatting? Let me explain a few most important thing, then I will explain this thing to you. That will be fine for you. See, Python provides several built-in log handlers. Python provides several built-in log handlers. So what are those log handlers? First is called stream handler. STREM, stream, HANDLER. What this stream handler is? This stream handler is used to sends log message says to the console or standard, write it in bracket, or standard output. This is the function of the stream handler. It sends log message to the console or standard output. If I can talk about the here, if I right now I am working in Jupyter Notebook. So this is something, this cell is something where I am writing some input, and after that whatever thing I am getting, after that, that is the output. So that is, but so whatever it sends log message to the console or standard output. So wherever you want your output is coming, it will send that message to the output. Fine. Here, if the output is coming here, it will send the message here. I will explain, I will show you one program where the message will be shown to the in the output, whatever I am getting from this cell. If you are, let's say, if you are writing this message, print my name is something. So you will get an output here, and whatever output you are getting, if you want at that position, if you want your logging message to be displayed along with that, for that, this is a stream handler. This is called stream handler, which sends log messages to the console or standard output. Second thing is that this is a stream handler. One is called file handler. File, HANDLER, file handler. What this do? This writes, file handler writes message, says, writes log message to a file, writes log messages to a file. This file handler writes log messages to a file. Next is called socket handler. SOCKET, socket, HANDLER. What is the purpose of this socket handler? This sends log message to a remote server using a socket handler. Let me. Okay. Fine. This socket handler, what this socket handler say do? Sends log messages to a remote server, server.
What is log, built-in log handlers?
What is?
Built-in log handlers.
See, there's something called built-in function inside a Python. Do you understand this? There's
Yeah.
something called built-in modules inside of Python. In the same way, this whatever log handler I have just discussed here, log handler are used to manage the flow of log data. In the same way, there are certain log handlers which are inbuilt inside the Python.
Okay.
Fine. So we can directly use that log handlers in our logging. So this socket handlers, what is the use of this socket handlers? Socket handlers is used to send log message to a remote server. What is this remote server? Remote server means a server which is not locally present in your system. It is somewhere in the cloud location at some other location, which is far from your own location. And if you want to log the data, if you want to log the anything in some remote location, so for that you have to use this inbuilt log handler that is called socket handler. Do you understood this? Remote server by using a network socket called network socket. Fine. Next inbuilt log handler is called sys log handler. What is the purpose of this log handler? This sys log handler sends log messages to the system log. Sends log message to the system log. This is basically used in Unix-like system. Whichever system, you cannot use this in Windows system, but this can be used in Unix-like system, Unix-based system. Fine. So this is called sys log handler, sends log message to the system. Next thing is called memory handler.
What is console?
Console, I have told you. You just understand a console as see, you use command prompt, na?
Yes.
So just consider it as your console. So we have discussed about the Git and GitHub. What we are doing, we are typing there, we are getting the output there. Are you getting? So
Yes.
that is considered as your console. Where console is where you are putting the input and getting your output. Fine.
Fine.
So now memory handler. This is something called memory handler. Ruchi, are you there in the class? I am not hearing any question today from your end. Are you there, Ruchi?
Yes.
Oh, so say Ruchi, are you doing fasting all the 10 days or what?
Yeah, 9 days.
Oh, that's why I can hear in your voice. It's really great how you people do all those things. It's really fine. So I will not ask you to ask a lot of questions till Navratri. Fine.
No, no, it's not. It's fine completely. I'm not feeling exhausted.
Fine. Memory handler, something called MEMORY, memory handler. What this memory handler do? This memory handler buffers. I will also talk about this buffers later because this is today not in the agenda, but I am writing this point here. I will explain it later because I will take classes on this also later. These are some advanced concepts, so I will take it later. Buffers log messages to in memory before sending it to a target handler. That means what this memory handler do, let's say you want to send the log file to some remote server. So what this memory handler will do, this memory handler will first log messages in your memory before sending it to your target handler. Fine. Next handler is called SMPT handler.
एकदम से स्लीपिंग पैरालिसिस में चली जाती है एंड अपनी आईज को मूव कर पा रही थी पूरे कमरे में बट वो डायरेक्शन चेंज नहीं कर बॉडी मूव नहीं कर पा रही थी उसको पीछे का नहीं दिख रहा था तो वो हल्का सा बस अपना जो होता है ना जितना आईज का साइड व्यू होता है जितना वो उतना कर पा रही थी तो वो देखती है कि पीछे ना डोर खुला है जब वो स्लीपिंग पैरालिसिस में तो डोर खुलने की उसको आवाज आती है
Rohan, please mute yourself. So say SMPT handler is like it sends log messages via email. So all these things, whatever I have discussed it right now, this stream handler, file handler, socket handler, syslog handler, memory handler, SMPT handler, these you will see the practical application of these things when you will do the real time projects. There these things are, we use all those things. Sometimes you use this SMPT handler, sometimes you use this this socket handler. This thing is used most often, and this SMPT and this socket handler is most often used. So you will find their applications when we will do the projects, real-time projects. So see, this is the built-in log handlers. Just now Mr. Misra sir has asked me what is this built-in log handler. This is the handler which is already built inside the button. Apart from these handlers, you can build your own handler. You can build your own handler. That is the, you can say it, you can create your custom log handler. You can create custom log handler. Apart from this, you can create custom log handler. So these are the things that I would like to make you understand before doing this thing. So now let's see.
Can you go previous line?
Okay.
Yeah, just. Yes.
Have you understood this?
Um,
Okay. Now, so we have discussed this till here, and now I have to create a log handler. So let's create a log handler. So how will I create a log handler? So I am creating, not I will use, I am simply creating here a file handler. So how will I will create a file handler? Let's see. First, create file handler. File handler. For creating a file handler, we have to create it like this: file underscore handler handler. Thereafter, I will use this logging module, LOGGING, this logging dot file handler, file handler handler, and then I have to write the name of the file. I have given the name as, what name I have given here? My underscore app dot log. So just let me copy it from here. This is the name of the file. Let's write it. So this is the file, and this is the file handler, and let's set file underscore handler underscore handler handler dot set level, set set level level level, and I am setting the level as logging, logging logging dot info, info info. Fine. This is the way of creating a file handler. And if you want to create a console handler, so let me write this for you. Create a console handler, handler, handler. For this, you have to write, what you have to write? Console underscore handler, handler is equal to logging, dot stream handler, handler, because for creating a console, you have to use this stream handler, sends a log message to the log messages to the console. That's why I'm using this stream handler, logging dot stream handler, strem stream handler. Fine. Handler, and thereafter you have to write this console handler dot set level, level, and then you have to write this logging dot info, info. Fine.
Can you
Tell me what
can
you
you go
want.
slightly previous line?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And to add handlers to the logger, 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 what you have to do? You have to simply write logger. See, one thing you understand, all those things you do not have to remember it at all. So don't get frustrated by seeing all these lines of code, because these things are available. Simply you have to understand it once or twice. Thereafter, whenever you need it, you have to just copy it from the internet and paste it in your code and use it. Simple. So there is no need to remember all these things. But understanding is very important, because until unless you will not understand these things, it will be difficult for you to even copy it from somewhere. Fine. Concept wise, you have to understand it. handler, logger dot add handler, and then you have to write file handler here, file underscore handler, handler. And if you want to add this inside your this thing console also, so you have to write add handler handler, and then you have to write console underscore handler. Simple thing. So now let's run this. Now if you will go, let me just check it out, whatever I have done it. I have just created, let me just go inside this. Okay, this file. Let me this check. What is the name of my file? What was the name of my file? Let's just check my underscore app dot log. If you simply open this file, you will see these are the things that get logged in my file. I have given the name of the file, and this is the format for whatever the format I have given it. See, date is coming here, time at the time at which the logging has been done, that time. This my program one, I have given it a name as, then debug, and this is the message that I wanted to give. This is a debug message. Same info message, this is the info message I have written. This is the warning message, this is the error message, this is the critical message. Thereafter, I want to do whatever things that I have given it. It has logged all these things. I have asked it to log the zero division error, division by zero. So it has logged this thing. So whatever error, when see here in the result, I was dividing 10 by 0 and it was giving me zero division error, and I want to log it. So it is also giving me information, the line 2 in this thing, everything trace back. See here, my program 1 error, exception occurred while dividing by 0. I have given this same message and it has logged inside this my underscore app that log file. So, and it has given this message zero division error. So what exact is happening exactly? See, when I have given the name of user as Umesh, is user Umesh is 25 years old. So I get that information here in my file, in my log file. Then I have wanted this debug thing. So this has been logged here. Whatever thing that I have done here and wanted to log it, it's all get logged here. So what is the purpose of this thing? In the real time scenario, when you are writing or building any software, so logging thing is must for you. Why it is must? Because let's say at the time of program execution, if something wrong happens or something goes out of the thing that you have not expected, so it's very difficult for you to find out the place where the problem has actually been occurred. So every time whenever this is a standard practice in see, this is some of the practices are very standard in programming, in which one standard practice is that you have to write the always you have to write, where whatever program you will write, you have to always write the exceptional handling case. So sometimes if the program throws you an error, or sometimes if the exception occur, how to deal with that exceptions by using the try, except, else, and finally block. This is you have to write the code for that. Always you have to write the code in a way so that you will be taking care of any exceptions that is supposed to occur in your program. This is one standard way of writing. Second standard way of writing the program is, whatever program you are writing, you have to write the log of it, so that if anywhere there is some error, or if the program starts at malfunctioning, you can always go to your log file, wherever your log file is present, and check what error at which point of time, at which time that error has occurred. Because in your log file, everything will get logged, and from the log file you will get the clarity. Okay, fine, this is the place where I got the error. And then what you will do, you will go to the specific point in your code at that particular point and check your error, and you will rectify it, and you will proceed it. If you will do not do it, it will be very difficult for you to find the exact point of your issue. And it's nothing that you will not able to find it, you will able to find it, but it will take you a lot of time. It will consume a lot of time, and the task will become very costly, and we don't want to do it. It will interrupt your work. So that's why this is one of the standard practice of logging everything what you are doing. So from today onward, whatever assignment I have given you earlier, so now you have to, in every question, whatever, either it be any simple question or whatever, you have to use these two concepts everywhere. And other concept that I will be going to discuss in object oriented programming, when I will be discussing the object oriented programming, then you have to solve that same question by object oriented approach. So this is also a standard way of doing writing any code. So you have to apply this exceptional handling, and you have to apply this logging thing.
Can we have
So
2 minutes break?
hello, yes,
Can we have 2 minutes break?
yes, definitely you can have 2 minutes break, or I will discuss one more thing, then rest of thing I will discuss tomorrow. So you can have a 2 minute break. Let me give you 2 minute break. Come after the break, and whenever you come, please tell me that you have arrived, so that we can start again.
You there?
So here we were. No, this was the thing that I wanted to just step by step. I have explained you first. I have explained you the theory behind it. Then step by step, I have explained you one simple line of code. Then all those things, and finally, we have seen that how the things is stepped. So this is the first time that you are studying these things. So it is, if you will revise this once, you will get all those things. Now, I'm not going to write this step by step. I will write in a single cell everything. So let's discuss one question, and with the help of that question, I want to see, with the help of that question, let's understand this logging concept in a little bit more deeper way. So let's take this question. Let me give you a scenario. Scenarios that you have a program that interacts with a file, and you want to handle file related errors gracefully using logging. So this is a scenario. You have a program that interacts with a file, and you want to handle file related errors gracefully using logging. So how you will deal with it? Let me write it. First thing, in any program, already this import thing is there, so it is not necessary, but let me write it for you. You have to first do logging, import logging. First thing you will do it. This is the first thing. Thereafter, in the second process, you have to do configure logging. How you will do how you will configure the logging? Simply you will write logging dot basic config, and thereafter you will put this file name. We have already done it in previous problem. Same thing I am doing here. And you have to write the name of the file. Let me write the name of the file as file underscore operation. You can write anything, .log. This is the file extension I am giving. Thereafter, what you have to do? So thereafter you have to write this level, level, sorry. Thereafter you have to put it comma here, and thereafter you have to write level, level is equal to, let's say, logging dot info, info. After that comma, and you want to enter the format. Let's enter format also here, just like what we have done in the previous case. So let me just copy and paste it from here so that it will save my time. So just do this thing, copy and paste it, copy from here and paste it here. Format, this thing. So this format is done. Now, after this thing,
Can we just go to the previous slide? Yeah. Okay.
yes, after this is called configure logging. I have configured my logging. Now, this next step is to create a logger. Create a logger. Create logger. A logger. So how I will create a logger? Simply logger. I will write. This is the object that I wanted to create, and this is a logging class dot get logger, get LOGGER, and I have to write the file. I have to write some name. Let's write file underscore some example. Let's write this thing. Then what I have written interacts with a file that you want to handle file related errors gracefully using logging. So to handle the file related issue, what was the thing? Let's say if you, when you want to deal with any file related issue, what is it? If let's say file that I wanted to open is not actually present in my directory, if I want to open the file, it will throw me an error. So to handle that, I have to write the exceptional handling to deal with that issue. So let me write the exceptional handling here. For writing the exceptional handling, I have to write the try block. Inside the try block, whatever thing that is supposed to give me an error, I have to write it. So let's write with open, and then you have to write the some file name that is actually not existing. You want to open a file that is not actually present in your directory, then and only it will throw you an error. Otherwise, if you will open some file which is actually present in the directory, it will not throw you an error. So let me write that some non-existent file. This is existent file. Score file existent existent file .txt. Let's suppose this is a text file that I wanted it to open, and I wanted it to open in read mode. So let's write this mode as give it an alias as file. Let's say file, right? Then give it a colon. Then write data is equal to file.read, and thereafter I want to log. Suppose, let's see, this is the point that is very important for you to understand. See, you want to open some file. I have given this name as name of some file, and suppose this is because presently I know that this file is not existing in my system, but let's say you do not know that whether this file exists or not, and let's say this file exists in your system. So what it will do, it will read the data from this file. File.read will read whatever is inside this file, because I am opening this file in a read mode, and I want to, that means I want to read it. And what I am doing, I am reading this file here. After reading, I want to log. What I want to log? That I want to log this information that I have read what is inside this file. I have read the file. So you have to use logger dot info. This is a general information that you want to log. When this information will get logged? This information will get logged when our control will reach till here. If this information, let's say, first let me write it here, then I will explain it to you. file read successfully. Let's say you want to log. So it means, what it means, if this line, this thing will get logged into your file, you will understand that that means I have already read this file. Let's say this file exists in your system and you have already read this file, and this thing has been logged into whatever this log file that you have given it here. That means if you see the log file, you will understand, okay, this information is logged. It means that my execution has happened till here, till the file.read. Because when my execution has happened till here, then and only I am able to log this thing, log this information that I wanted to log. So this is thing. Now let's suppose this is the thing, this will only happen when this file is existing. Let's suppose if this file that actually I know is not existing in my directory, in that case this itself will throw an error and my control will not come here, and I'm not able to log this thing that whatever I have written, this information file read successfully. So what will happen? It will go inside the except block, except except block, and I want to log this in the except block. So what will happen? What information because this I am not able to read this file, that means file not found error. Either you can write this file not found error, or let's say I am writing this file not found error as small e, and now I want to log this. If let's say error has occurred, now I want to log this error. So how you will log? You will simply write logger here, logger dot error, ERROR error, and you want to this error that we have discussed here, this error, where is that, this error? So this error I want to, because this error has occurred, so I want to log this error, logger dot error, and whatever information I want to write here, I will write it, let's say file not found, and let's write and thereafter let's say file not found, and this thing comma write e, so that whatever this file not found error will give this thing, this will get displayed here, logged also, this will also get logged. You can also write this thing also, except except, let's say exception, exception as e. If you do not want to write this, you can simply write the base class exception as e. This is also sort out your result. Fine. So let me write it here. See, for your logger logger dot error, and inside this what you need to do, an unexpected error occurred, and unexpected EXPECTED unexpected error occurred, OCCURED occurred, and thereafter read the same thing like E. Now this is the thing, this was my case that I have written a code for it, and if I simply run this code, whatever information I want to write, it first what will happen? First this logging file will get created, file name file underscore operation dot log, this file will get created, and it will give the priority of logging.info. This format will get followed inside my logging file. I will see my logging details in this format. And after that, I have created a logger. Then I wanted to read some file, and I know this file is not existing in my system. So it will throw an error. So my logging, it will come inside this except block. And if it come inside this except block, whatever error I am getting, this E from the file not found error, the exceptional handling I have done here. So that logger.error will get here when my control come here to this except block, this information get logged into my file, because I am using this logger.error here, and I am passing this message file not found. And if you want to even give the name of the file, you can give the name of the file. If you do not want to give the name of the file, you can skip it. Fine. So the unexpected error occurred. Now let me run this file and then we will see. Let's run it. See. Let me check this thing. Let me check my file here. So go to this thing and let me check. File underscore operation. Can you see any file with this name? File underscore operation. File underscore operation. Suppose there is no file here with this name. File underscore operation. Operation.log. Okay. Let me just put down it. Not. Why I am getting this? Let me restart and clear all output. Fine. Now let me check it again. Import logging, configure logging, logging.basic config, file name, the name, level, logging.info, logging.info, format this thing, format. Log, logging.info, info, format. Fine, create a logger, logging dot log, get logger, and file, let's underscore example with open from the text file from the successfully file not found error. Let's just Okay. Let me see this thing. Percentage S, comma E, and we use like this percentage S. This no fine. Now let's see. Python. See, we have done this. See, file underscore operation dot log. We are able to log this. This file has been created, and information what I wanted to log: file not found, error, no such file or directory, non-existent file .txt. So this has been logged. This is the date of logging. This is the time of logging. This is the file name of the file. This is the error. File underscore example is the, I have given it as the name. So this name has been printed here, and whatever error that I am getting, so it is printed here, it is logged into the file. So with the help of this simple problem, I am able to actually discuss with you, I am able to convey you what the problem was, how we use the logging thing in our programming scenario. Do you got those point? Do you got this point? What I have discussed right now, this question? Hello, guys. Misra sir, Ruchi, you?
Yes, yes.
Today you guys are not asking any question. I am surprised.
Yes.
Today you guys are not asking any questions, so I am surprised at how can this be possible. This is the first session in the last whatever session I have conducted that you people have not asked a single question. No any cross question. So this happens
What
in a
was-
situation. Hello.
What was the mistake here?
The mistake was, I suppose there is no such mistake. Only the thing, as this is a issue of kernel, I have restarted this whole kernel and tried it again. So what happens is that this Jupyter notebook is not very much user friendly in these kind of programming. So very soon I will be taking one class of Git and GitHub, in which I will introduce you to the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. And now from then onward, we will be using only the Visual Studio Code for doing all sorts of coding. Then we will leave this Jupyter notebook, because finally you have to switch to that only. This is only useful for the initial period of time. This is useful. So this is a issue that this same thing has been given me the issue earlier also. So that's why I have restarted it. So see, everything from here has been, output has been cleared, and thereafter it has created this file. And I suppose there is no confusion in understanding this thing. So I suppose today is 12:20 and you have to wake up early because it's the season of Navratra. So what I will do, tomorrow I will be conducting this session. We have concept wise, we have done with the logging. There is nothing left. But I wanted to discuss one or few more coding problem with you. So I will discuss few more coding problem with you with explanation. And if you guys will be having any doubt in today's session, I recommend you to go through this session once again, understand it. And if you guys will be having any doubt, so let's clear the doubt first tomorrow, and thereafter we will practice few more logging related questions, and then we will start with the new session, new topic. And the new topic is next topic is the debugging. I will be covering the debugging, and debugging is very easy. When in Jupyter Notebook, it is a little bit for the understanding. I will be sharing you, but when you will shift to the VS Code, debugging is the thing that you don't have to do. There is extensions for debugging, and that will be taking care of whatever the problem that arises in your code. So by this, I am ending this session, and those of you who have watched till the end, so must share your experience. Go to the comment, put your doubts, and please tell me, guys, why this happened that today you guys have not asked a single question. I am surprised. Please share me the Raj of this.
It's really a new thing to understand, so we were focusing on what's going on.
Okay. Yes.
There are a lot of conceptual things to
Yes.
understand.
Because here a lot of theory is involved. Okay.
Yeah, and
But
we have
see,
encountered
Ruchi,
some
what is thing? One more thing, that when we will do the object-oriented programming, the way we are coding right now will get totally changed. Fine. When the normal, if I will give you the normal, very simple code to add two numbers, let's say, if I will give you, Ruchi, solve one question, write a program to add two numbers. So I suppose till this point, you guys, it is a very simplest of simple thing that you will write it. But you do not have to write this thing, add two number, by the way you are writing right now. You have to write that program in the object-oriented approach. And when you will use the object-oriented approach, all these things will come into the picture. First thing, exceptional handling will come. This logging thing will come. Then other concepts that we will going to learn in the object-oriented programming, that is the class, module will come into picture, classes will come into picture, attributes will come into the picture, a lot of things will come into the picture. So the way we write the program right now will get completely changed after we will study the object-oriented programming. Because that is the standard way of writing any production grade code. In the real scenario, we will write the code. Whatever code you will encounter, you will encounter a modular approach of coding or programming. So very soon we will discuss that, and I suppose you will not face any difficulty in understanding this. So this is a recommendation from my end. Must revise this thing, otherwise you will not get it. And then ask questions. Because this is a thing, when you will ask questions, then and only you will get the clarity. Fine. So we will meet tomorrow again. Thanks for coming. And you guys are very wonderful. And this is for you, Ruchi. Please take care. Keep taking water. Keep taking juices. and always keep electrol with you, so that whenever if you feel any uncomfortable situation, must take it. And this is all. Your health is very important for all of us. So
Thank
you are a very
you
valuable
too.
resource you are a very valuable resource of this AIK Pathshala. You are not only a student, we are all a group of committed people. You guys are very committed. So you are just like a family of this AIK Pathshala. You are inside this family of AIK Pathshala. So we do not want that. We want you to be very happy and healthy and everything. So just take care and wish you happy
You
Navratri.
do take
Definitely.
same to you.
Because you are fasting for the 10 days, that's why for us it's like fine. We are eating 3 times a day.
We used to do it since so long, so it's nothing
Okay,
big for us.
fine. Still you should take care of yourself, and if you whenever you feel that you are not like able to attend the class, it's fine. You just drop me a message. There is no need, there is no compulsion for you to come, and the recorded session is always there. You can watch from there and you can ask the doubts anytime. Fine.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.